just look like I'm half dead right now. Good morning, everybody. Today, Dave is tired, but I'm happy because it's breakfast time and it is high day, so I get to eat a fuck ton of carbohydrates. And I got some cereal, oatmeal, apple pie filling, blueberries, and a little isolate waiting for me, so I'm gonna dig in here soon. But I'm gonna bring you guys through a prep high day today. Also, today we have one of our competitors competing in a Masters Women's Physique show down in Dallas. So we'll be kind of bringing you a little bit of update of how that show's going along as the day progresses. So Stephanie's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the package we've put together for her. I'll kind of get a little bit more into it later on to show you what I'm looking at as I get the information coming in. But at this point, I've already seen some fasted pictures from her this morning while I was doing cardio, and she's looking good. We're right on point. Definitely dried out her physique, and she's relatively as full as we were looking for. A little bit, not quite as full as I was hoping to, but that's fine. We can make some small adjustments as long as she keeps kind of hardening up and drying out, and she's restricted a little bit of water at the moment. She's really going to come through looking good. So we'll keep you updated. Time to eat because I am starving. First things first, going to check our blood sugar because it is a high day. So we're just going to make sure that blood sugar kind of stays line and consistent throughout the day. In case there's a little bit of insulin use I'll need. My blood sugar is usually perfect regardless, but we will just take a look here and see where it's at this morning while I'm still fasting. And pretty good range, 93, usually a little bit under, usually average around like 85 to just under 90. But we'll take a couple units of, take about 4 units of 4 or 5 insulin, units of our insulin with this meal, just to help me out today, kind of loading in the carbs as well as give a little break to the pancreas, as we're going to slam just about 1,000 carbs throughout the whole day. Say hello, sweetheart.
Hello.
Hello.
As I say, I feel like crap right now.
Jackie just got done cardio, and I'm sure she's jealous of my high day shenanigans. So we got meal one, we got 80 grams of oats, so it gives me 50 grams of carbs, 100 grams of apple pie filling, that's another 30, so we're at 80. And then we got Captain Crunch cereal, which is like 65 grams. It's gonna give me another 55, bringing me to 135, and I got protein powder in the oats. And then of course my first detachment shaker, which I have just taken my suppressor for my carb control, a little bit of berberine, took some ashwagandha this morning, and I'll take the rest of my sups in a little bit here. And we're off to work right now, so when we get there, not too sure of exactly what's going to be going on today. At my job, we deliver a ton of materials, as in like bark, mulch, and stone, and truck, kind of basically the trucking business. So just got to see what we have for orders and start getting our delivery guys moving, our truck drivers going. But when we get there, we're going to hopefully be having another message here from Stephanie, and kind of bring you a little bit of how I kind of approach throughout the day, kind of peak day for somebody, for a client of ours, a teammate that's about to step on stage. So give a little bit of kind of background into how I attack that challenge. But basically right now, luckily for us, we don't have to play psychologist with this client. They're pretty strong-minded at this point, pretty excited for their show. Not, obviously have the nervous jitters at this moment, but that's normal for show day. We just always want to try to keep stress low. You see people in the last few days really build the amount of stress they have in the shows on stage. They can kind of raise their cortisol levels, get a little bit batshit crazy, and start to retain some water with that response as well, and just kind of blur out their look. And there's not much you can do other than try to relax and try to settle in, and realize that you have a plan already set in place, and just try to execute that. without causing yourself any added stress. So excited for her, but let's get this day of work started and go from there. All right, so now that we are at work, we've got our drivers off and running. I think I've shown in a few episodes before that I am into the kind of landscape supply yard, garden center kind of industry. So we do a lot of trucking of materials, all sorts of different things. We got one truck getting ready to ship out a bunch of bark mulch. We've got one other truck that just headed out for local deliveries to homeowners. So now that I got everything up and running, I'm just going to pretty much enjoy walking the yard for a couple laps, get some steps in, which is kind of nice about my job. We have a big supply yard out back that I can do a couple laps and keep eyes on people and stay busy that way, and also get some steps in. I'll basically take my lap from the office out front, come all the way down through the yard, and just take a nice little lap around the screening plant. And that gets me about 400 steps doing just one lap, which is not too bad. And it's kind of relaxing in the morning as well. Get a little minute here to get everyone out of your hair and just get an opportunity to do a little bit of thinking, planning your day accordingly, and all at the same time getting some steps in. So I'm just gonna get a couple laps in, then we'll go in the office and jump on the computer, and hopefully should be getting some check-in photos here soon to see where our competitor is at. All right, so we got some work done, and now it's time to take a quick look at how our competitor Stephanie is doing. It's about 10:30 our time, so that's 9:30 her time. We've already gotten a few meals in. She woke up, sent photos around 5, because she sent photos, about 5, because she had just gotten to makeup. Makeup was 4:45 in the morning for this show. It's a big show, so there's a lot of people getting their, the women getting their makeup done, so they have to jam everybody in and make a schedule, and she happened to just get the shit under the stick and be in early, but at least it'll be done. But she woke up before she had her coffee or any water that were given her. She sent her fasted photos, and they're looking good. She is very consistent on her look lately. The past 3 weeks, we've really kind of woke up with some fasted photos and have been had consistency. So what you don't want to do is see people waking up with massive inflammation or water retention, or one moment they're lean and dry, the next moment they wake up completely different visuals. For her, luckily, it's been a dry, flatter look. In this today, the morning of the show, she's been filling up for the past few days, carbing up. So she is getting more pop for sure, but the visuals of water and inflammation never seems to be a problem with her. She's a really quick healer. The visuals have been consistent, so it makes our job easy. So we're gonna get some food into her, some carbs and fats. We're gonna hold off on meal 1 until after makeup. But she already got those meals down, and now we're on to about an hour before stage, and let's take a look at her photos. So excuse the glare on the screen, but you can see down here she's getting some cut and definition. We're definitely tightening up in the lower section and the legs, and her midsection is definitely pulling together as of right now. So this is after 2 meals, about 2.5, because we did give her some carbs and fats. This morning with her coffee, she's been at about 10 ounces of water a day after water loading during the carb up, and then Friday we restricted water, just dried out, and right now she woke up with a pretty good look. I can see she's getting a little bit more pop in the arms. We're just gonna have her sit down and try to put her feet up as much as possible to get a little bit of this film of water off. You know, anything we can do to just get her to keep kind of peeing and going and draining some of the fluid by having her feet up back out of her legs, so we can hopefully rid that and get a little tighter before we get into the show. So this is where we're at now. I'm not going to go through all of our photos, but I'm pretty happy with this. Prejudging should be in about an hour. All right, so prejudging has begun for Stephanie. She just stepped on, so we're going to be excited to wait to hear from her, see how she did, how she looked. Hopefully, maybe her husband's got some footage to send us. If I do, I'll see if we can share that and put that up as well. So I'm just kind of checking things out, banging around on the golf cart, taking some laps around the yard, and I'm excited. You know, it's kind of funny to me. I won't name names, but there's some coaches I've known over the years that for some reason kind of get annoyed and don't really care for the actual show day of their clients and or teammates, which kind of always confused me. I love this stuff. That's why Jackie and I are so, you know, passionate about what we do. Is we just love the sport. We want to help people do good at the sport, and we want to do well for ourselves. We just want to work with anyone that wants to put in the time and effort and try to bring home some medals. But I get excited for this part. I can't wait for my phone to ring, get updates, see how our work has come together as a team, and hope for success. So it just kind of always baffled me that other guys would be annoyed because you kind of have to be available when you got 3 or 4 people competing at once. It can be a little hectic, especially someone like myself that has a job that I'm going to be at, have to do this through a phone on my hands, you know, on my hand, one moment while I'm operating a truck the next, and even filming a YouTube all at the same time. But I love it. I love the challenge, and excited to see where she's going to shake out. So back to work for me. We'll give you an update on that later on. Before finals for her, Jackie and I will be getting her set up and to step on stage for finals. And then we're going to hit the gym and see if we got some medals or how we shook out with placings after that. So I'm excited. I definitely love this part. To work with someone for, you know, Stephanie and us, and Jackie and I have only been working together for the past like 10 weeks or so. But when you're stepping on stage, when someone's stepping on stage that you've been working with them for 16 weeks or a year or even more, when it's their time to shine, it's exciting. It's your work as a coach too. You've helped guide them. They're the star. They're the ones that have put in all the effort. But yeah, this part is where you really see what materializes out of your work. So I'm excited. So back to work. Hope to get updates soon. Now it's meal 2 time for our high day. So we got banana, got some shrimp that we cooked on the charcoal. Just skewered that up and cooked that last night. And we got our 80 grams of carbs from rice with 20 grams of carbs from honey mixed in there. 10 for the rice cake, 25 here for the banana. So we got 135 carbs, 40 protein, 0 fat. This is gonna be a good one for sure. Back on my next round of laps to get some steps in. It's always weird getting a bunch of steps in and cardio done when it's your high day. It seems counterproductive, but then again, if this just kind of helps my metabolism and my digestion for the day, gives me a little bit more speed in my metabolism by just kind of staying active, that's good. As well as just activity generally after a few meals helps with digestion. But just looked at Stephanie's prejudging, sent us a video, so I'll put that up over here while I'm talking. But I was definitely happy with it. She looked super poised, and it was a cell phone video, so I can only see quality so well, but you can definitely see a lot of cuts and definition. Looks like the stage lighting helped her with showing some of that detail as well. So that was super good. And she felt really confident that she was ahead of her competition from her analysis. So We're going to take a little bit more of a detailed look at her a little bit after stage, and just kind of get her ready for finals. So fingers crossed that it's going to be a good competitive scenario for her. I'm really hoping that, wish I could see the competition for sure, but just being able to see the package she brought this stage seat under the stage lighting, and kind of see what the judges were looking at is definitely helpful, and it was encouraging. Looked good to me. So we'll give you updated on that. Hopefully should be getting another meal in out of work before I know it, and then set her up for finals and get a little quick training in tonight. Let's go get Mrs. Canny. Hello, Mrs. Canny. How are you? Eating food as usual? Yeah. You're wearing pants this time? That's good. Beautiful. All right, time to do the typical routine when I get home. Put away all my Tupperware, my glassware from lunch, and then get dressed, and we're gonna try to get, Stephanie's supposed to have finals at 5, but we were told that it was pushed back to 7, so of course I got snot in my nose. Look at that. Typical Dave. But I think it got pushed back to 7, so she's gonna give us another check-in, hopefully before we walk in the gym and get her set up, and just game planned to walk on stage. She knows what she's doing. We've been over it a bunch, so I'm not too concerned with it, but we get one more look at her before she gets on stage, and then we can rip some weights, and by the time we're done, we will hopefully see how she's done. Hopefully we'll know the placings by then. So once we know, you will know too. All right, so we just got to the gym. Stephanie's portion of the show, the women's physique, keeps getting pushed back. So she was supposed to go on at 7. They're just finishing the men, so probably within an hour and a half, she'll be on. So I just told her to hold her over. Let's get a little nut butter and a few rice cakes just to kind of keep her full, keep her just a little extra carbs and fats to prolong everything until we get to our little protocol with some honey and rice cakes before we jump on stage. So I told her that, and I said, good, we're right back to square one, which is we just wait until 15 minutes out to start pumping up, get a little hit of some carbohydrates, and then step on stage with a pump. So hopefully mid-workout here, we'll get another message from her that she's just about to step on, double check everything's okay, and just have her get right on stage. She's looking much drier. I'll put some video up there or a few pictures, but you can kind of see in her legs have just dried out. Her fullness has stayed the same. We've held the look. The whole strategy was we found the look that we wanted pretty much this morning, and we just kept her as tight as possible, dry as possible, and we can kind of see it within her quads that she's actually drying out even further beyond what we've been holding her. So that's good. Hoping that she can just achieve a pump, because sometimes it's a little difficult to feel the contractions when you're this depleted and you're kind of at this stage of show prep, especially where if you're not ready early, it's kind of hard to fill out. You got to be a little aggressive, which is what we kind of had to do in her situation, which is fun. So we were able to hold the look. She's going to get on stage, and soon find out where she stands with placings. So once we know, again, you will know as well. But time for us to start ripping some back. All right, so the word is in. Stephanie, our girl, got first place in her show. So we're excited. That is awesome. Can't wait to talk to her a little bit later on, give her some time to catch up with family and friends backstage. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm kind of left in the dark right now, just kind of figuring where the photos are, if she's got any photos. I'm just excited to take a look, as I am for all of our competitors. It's always exciting to see where they place. You're kind of just as anxious as them. So we will talk to her soon. I think either way, tomorrow we're going to have a Zoom call with her and just catch up with her. She'll be sending me some photos I'll put up pretty soon from whatever she's got to share with us. And like I said, I'll also drop our little convo with her, just give her a little interview about how she felt the show went, what the experience was like. But I am definitely motivated at the moment, and before I leave the gym, I'd like to do some posing too, because she's got me in the mood for posing. I am amped up. Wait, Stephanie, how was your show?
It was great.
First place. I mean, how'd you feel pretty much leading up to the show? Were you nervous, or you kind of finally get settled in, or how was the experience?
With you guys, I was the leanest I had ever been. So I was just excited to take my package to the stage.
Yeah,
Really. And I felt good getting there, being tired is part of it, but you don't want to be tired and hungry.
yeah,
And with you guys, I had a good amount of food, and wasn't hungry. So I had that kind of energy, and all I had to focus on was just keeping it together and getting on stage. So it was a lot easier to focus.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we met pretty much like 10 weeks out. So we kind of had a path already set that we kind of had to, we didn't get to set everything from scratch at the beginning. So it was kind of a learning experience for us, because I can tell you that's actually the first time we've taken someone on within 10 weeks of a show. We've taken people on initially at 16 weeks out and just gotten to know them and started right there. But we were really happy with your effort, the way you applied yourself. It didn't take but maybe 5 days out of the first week until you were finally up and running at 100%, which is tough. We were really expecting you to hit the ground running. No excuses. This is how it has to work.
Yeah.
You really stepped up to the plate.
Yeah,
So,
you executed.
You guys made it easy.
well, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, you're very coachable. That's important as well.
Yeah. Yeah. You executed the plan.
Yeah.
You did a phenomenal job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what would you say was the toughest part, though, pretty much from the 10 weeks since we've been together?
Just actually transitioning from how I was to what you guys, I've never done macros before. That was the all the choices. I was like, yeah. But
Yeah.
after that, I was just like, just give me this, this, and this. And then I just focused in on that, and we can learn the macro part. But that was it. And that's nothing on you guys. I just never had done that before,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but really that was the toughest. I mean, working me into the cardio was easy. You're prepared for that. That's coming.
Yeah.
The restriction of the food. I had plenty of carbs. I mean, it was good. It was what I really enjoyed too was on the low carb days or no carbs. I had plenty of vegetables and things for me to have to stay full. That made it a lot easier too,
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
to have that list.
Food volume definitely helps. The calories can be deceiving because, you
Mhm.
look at something that's real high calorie like nut butter, and you could eat the whole jar and have 4,000 calories and think nothing of it. But trying to have over 100 calories in broccoli, you're just not going to finish it, so it's a
I will say the highlight was the protein pancake. That was,
protein pancake.
Hell yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
I
So,
know. I'm like licking the plate.
so a little insight for those watching. We had a few scenarios where I had to kind of alleviate some hunger pain and a little bit of just actually keeping more calories in and being sensitive to carbs in the state you were. We were just giving you extra protein and fats where we could. So we gave you the trick of a little bit of a pancake, protein pancake with just what is it? Just protein powder, egg whites,
That's it.
Right.
and then we'd cook that in a pan like a pancake and put nut butter on it with some blueberries. And that's really actually one of my favorite prep
Yeah, that's
carb-free
hack.
meals.
Sugar-free syrup.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
sugar-free syrup. Yeah,
I have one every single night. It's my
yeah,
jam.
Do you?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that I would wake up lighter the next day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah,
It's a nice trick.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What would you say was probably the most pleasant part of your, the show? Not necessarily have to be working with us, but just in general from the past 10 weeks, what was maybe a surprise to you or the funnest part that you really experienced?
I really made a lot of good friends actually this time. It seemed like everybody at this show with these promoters, they were very positive,
Mm.
from the tanning people to the pro tan makeup. I mean, all of that together, they were absolutely wonderful. I made a really good friend, Renee, that healed it. I mean, she had to get a U-Haul to carry all her trophies home. I was so excited for her. And she was super supportive, and just all of them. She had her posing coach there, and it was nice. We all just sat there in a girl huddle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
doing hot girl shit that you do backstage,
Yeah.
and it was so fun to be around people that were like celebrating each other.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful to me. It was nice. It was
That's
really nice.
awesome.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say that's something people don't realize about the sport of bodybuilding. Yeah, I mean, there's a competitive aspect of it. We all want to win, but when you're really backstage, you get to know these people. You realize they worked just as hard as you. Some of them more, some of them less, but you've all sacrificed time and effort and blood, sweat, and tears to get there. So you have a
Absolutely.
level of respect kind of for them anyhow from the beginning.
Yeah.
At this show, they had the wheelchair competition.
Really?
Oh, cool.
Wow.
I'm like, listen, suck it up. I don't care what you're crying about.
Right.
Suck it up. Because these guys looked amazing.
I know.
They were
It's
amazing.
incredible.
Yeah.
It was nice. They were real nice. It was a good show.
Yeah, and some of them they get in such amazing shape because they have, obviously with the disability they have they're not able to always show their lower half or they have disadvantages to show. So they really kind of crank it on being lean and their shape that they have. I don't know how I would be able to handle that either. It's my hat
I
off.
wanted to talk to them. Yeah, I wanted to
Yeah.
be like, how'd you get here, man? Like I wanted to know their story, but
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So, but what's in the future for you? What do you got your eyes on for the next challenge in mind?
So I would like to do a show at the end of 25. I want to take the rest of this year and almost all of next year to bulk, grow, work on the things that I need to work on. I know I need bigger glutes, obviously bigger everything, right? I need to be a little bit bigger.
Mhm.
I do plan on being with you guys the entire time. So I know the next show is going to be even leaner.
Yeah.
So I hit the stage this time with you guys at 10%. So I'm hoping to be at 8
Mhm.
at the stage. I think that would be a good goal for me
Sure.
coming up. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's what I want to do.
Yeah, and I'd say on my end, from the coaching aspect, getting there easier and more simple. We, as you can tell, we have a pretty simple approach from the 10 weeks we started. Even on a peak week, we just don't do a lot of trickery. We didn't have really the availability to do it because we were kind of rushing into peak week to a point. But that's one thing I have for a goal is really just being ready and set up and making things a lot easier so we can land the plane right on the target where we want to. So that's awesome. Well, we're excited for you. We're happy that we got to you know, the opportunity to coach you. You got to walk home with some medals, and now you're a Masters champion right now.
Absolutely.
I love it. It was so much fun. It was
Good.
so much fun.
Good.
Good. Well, we'll make sure to throw up on and show some people a few of your stage shots there when we get them, and everybody follow Stephanie. What's your IG?
So it's Barton3Love.
Barton3Love.
Awesome.
Well, everybody give her a follow. So,
Absolutely.
but I appreciate it, and we'll hop off now. Anyways, that's a wrap for us, guys. Glad we got to share a little bit of our meeting with Stephanie. Obviously, she's pretty excited with her win. Yeah. So it's yeah, we're just really happy. We wanted to kind of share a little bit of our experience of the peak week. Well, excuse me, the show day of Stephanie's show, because it was just a unique scenario. There's definitely a first for us at this point to kind of take someone on in the middle of a prep, and we're always, Jackie and I are the kind that love challenges, so we actually just pretty much switched our mindset on to let's just accept that challenge and use it as a learning lesson, in the sense of like, how can you, just get in practice, how can you approach that scenario until you're actually in it. You don't really know what it feels like. So at first, obviously it's a little nerve-wracking for myself trying to figure out somebody's body within a week and then hopefully start picking up steam. Excuse me, which is exactly what happened. And we just couldn't be prouder of the efforts that Stephanie put in. So good job to you, Stephanie. We're proud of you, of course. Yep. We look forward to a bright future of working with you and making some progress this off season.
Hell yeah, let's grow.
Let's grow is right, and let's not starve any longer. That's for sure. So, so Jackie and I are just gonna relax. We're gonna put on our buddy Amy Gray Killian's YouTube channel. I'll drop it right here. Great bikini competitor that is good friend of ours, good friend of the anabolic bodybuilding family. And just somebody that's really kind of supported us the whole time. And so we're gonna spark one up. I bet you love that, Stephanie. We give you a little shout out and then you get to hear about your coaches smoking a blunt. But we picked up, to keep everyone up to date, we picked up a new infused pre-roll called Baby Teacher.
And it tastes like
it's called cantaloupe, like cannabis, but cantaloupe.
It smells and tastes like cantaloupe.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
And, so we're gonna watch Amy's bikini prep diary for week 3, and just hang out and relax, and just chat about what's coming up tomorrow. So Jackie is excited. You can see she's actually happy because she just had her post-workout meal.
Yeah,
so
love that meal.
She's not grumpy, so thank you. This is a good thing for Dave. But hey, we appreciate everybody watching. Give Stephanie a follow. I'll put her IG in the description below. And congrats to you, champ. Good work. Until next time, grip and a rip it. Everybody be good. See you later.